I'm not making it up, but there's one name.
Can you see us all now, Virginia? Yeah, okay. Colin, welcome.
Thank you.
He's on with us on Zoom, and we do have an orientation binder here at the site for you at some point if you want to stop by and pick it up. So welcome, everyone. So I just will start. My name is Kathy Fisher. I'm the curator here. And I like to start the meetings by acknowledging that we are on the Robinson Huron Treaty Territory land, and for which we are gathered today. It's a traditional territory of the Anishinaabe known as Balating. Balating is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana, and the Historic Métis Council. So welcome. This is the first meeting of the new Committee of Council for Historic Sites Board. And our second item on the agenda, if there was anything you saw that you might have a conflict of interest with, every meeting we will have a spot to declare pecuniary interest. And if there is anyone, I just have to make note, and then when it comes to something that we have to pass the resolution on, we will dismiss you for that vote. So is there any declarations for today's agenda? Okay. I want to point out for new members and for returning members that we do have a procedure bylaw. And it is because we are a committee of council. So Colin, when you get your binder, it's all in there. And it lays out the rules for running meetings, for council meetings. And also if there was ever a time to go in committee and how we go about doing that. So I ask that you do review that, and if there's any questions, please let me know. And we work with the clerk's department on sort of the rules of order for each and every meeting. So there in there is the regulating bylaw mandate, your composition as also as a committee, the governance and accountability, and the procedure bylaw, how to open and close the meeting, and our rules of conduct. So take a look and please review before we get into next time we meet. And for just so you know, for today also, quorum is here. It is 50% plus one. So there are 10 of you. So that means quorum means 6 in order to vote on resolution. Okay, I'm going to move along to election of officers, and we only have 2 positions for this committee, and one is chair and one is vice chair. And we start by looking for someone to move and someone to second that we open nominations for the position.
I'll move Sarah Walker.
Sarah's moving.
I'll second Heather.
Heather, thank you. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. So now we need to open the floor for nominations. So. We need to have someone nominated. Is there anyone that would like to be chair?
Sorry, point of order, for clarification, people are allowed to self-nominate, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
just wanted to make sure. everybody
Yeah.
knew
Is there anyone that would, first of all, like to self-nominate?
I've never saw it.
I better pay attention in case Collins put his hand up. Okay, is there any nominations from the floor for chair?
I'd like to nominate Sylvana. What a wonderful job she's been doing.
Thank you.
Little flattery.
Thank you.
So David has put forth the nomination for Sylvana. Sylvana, are you gonna allow your name to stand?
Yes.
We need someone to second that nomination. Jamie. Sorry, Sarah, I picked on Jamie. Is there any further nominations from the floor for chair? I have to say it 3 times. Is there any further nomination from the floor for chairperson? Last time, any nominations for chair? Welcome aboard as chair, Sylvana.
Thank you.
All in favor? Okay. So now we have to open nominations for vice chair. And would someone like to move that we open for nominations? Heather? Did I see Brittany stand up? Okay. So now we are looking for self-nomination or nominations from the floor for vice chair.
I will if nobody else will.
Oh, that's resounding.
Yourself.
I'm scared.
A self-nom move by Heather.
I'll second.
For Heather.
I was waiting for David to put his hand
Yeah,
up. He did it.
Is there any further nominations for vice chair? Any further nominations for vice chair? Last call for further nominations for vice chair. Okay, thank you, Heather. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
In the event that Sylvana can't attend, you'll be chairing meetings.
Okay,
Just follow the agenda.
all right.
All in favor of our vice chair? Okay, carried. So I'm gonna hand it over now to Savannah to take over, starting with section 5 of the
Section 5.
agenda.
Okay, welcome everyone. Today's Wednesday, February 12th, and it's about 12:15. 12:15. So resolve that the agenda for Historic Sites Board meeting for February 12th, 2025 be presented. We need someone to approve, David, and someone to second,
Sarah's got her hand up behind you.
Sarah. Resolved that the Historic Sites Board meeting for February 12th, 2025 has, as presented, be approved. All in favor? Carried. Carried. Number 6, adoption of the minutes for people that were for December 11th, 2024 be approved. Someone to motion that out here. Okay, thank you. Someone to second.
Sandra?
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Sandra and David,
Second.
second. All in favor? Okay, carried.
Abstain, I wasn't there.
Yes, you weren't there, okay. Good. That's carried. Number 7, business arising. Kathy, did you have something you want to say at this time? for accounts, or do we move on?
I think, well, there was nothing outstanding from the last meeting that we need to bring up as business arising, so. We can move past that one, I'll put none noted.
So the accounts, financial statement year to date, end of December 2024.
So for,
Kathy,
for the members of the board now. Every so often, you will receive financial statements for the operations of the Ermitanger Clerk. This is the main account for the operations. There are a couple other small ones. And also connected to us that we don't report on, in fact, it goes to Municipal Heritage Committee. So we're looking actually at an unofficial, but it's close. It won't be official actually until the finance department review it, get year end totally finished, and then of course to the auditors. But this gives you an estimated look at where we stand at the end of the year. And comparable to the original budget. There will be things that will get tweaked because some of the outstanding revenues hadn't been received. And so it's not total finished, but it will give you a look at how we spend and you know, where we bring monies in. For those of you, I'm just gonna quickly review fees and user fees are set by the Historic Sites Board. And in your binders, you'll see the ones approved by council. So that's everything from someone walking in the door and paying admission to what we charge for all different programs, like school tours, things like tomorrow we have Valentine's high tea. So anything that we charge a fee to have to be approved and set by the Historic Sites Board. So they're all under fees and user fees. And then government grants are provincial and federal grants that we receive. And they're anything from wage subsidy for summer students to project based. So I constantly am applying for grants for us, so for all kinds of projects. And when I get to the curator's report, I'll give you an update on those.
does anyone have questions or comments about the expenditures? Everyone's good?
Colin, you were able to get that in your package? Okay.
Sure.
Yes, yeah, I've had a chance to review it. Thanks.
Well, I just had a question about user fees, user charges and fees. So do we, as the board, set the budget at a certain percentage or to adjust for inflation, for example, like per year over year?
Yeah, we get a recommendation from the city to say, you know, maybe we should be looking at user fees at a 2% increase. However, the Historic Sites Board can decide on how those fall out within all the, and you'll see the list in the binder.
Yeah.
So, and in this past round, we've tried to include HST. So someone coming in the door to pay admission, it's $15 for an adult. That includes the HST.
Right.
So if we're putting fees up in the future, and we want to do a 2%, then we have to look at how to sort of round those and have the HST, but yes. The simple answer is yes.
Okay, thank you.
So can I ask you, so if the takeaway from this that your revenue was about 50,000 higher than you budgeted for?
That's because of grants,
That's because of,
right, applying
grant.
for grants.
oh,
Federal
okay, so it's not
government.
because of fees that were being charged.
Well, it's like, well,
They. We do bring in more revenue, last year, this review. So user fees, as you can see, 118 versus the 84 that was budgeted. So that was really because of, programming or extra group tours, like bus tours and off the cruise ships, those kinds of things.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So we predicted, close to 85,000, but came in much higher, which is great.
Busy, but great.
We were busy.
So my next question then, if I'm allowed, if we're done answering that one.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah, go
my
ahead,
next
Sarah.
question would be, would the city then readjust some of the lines under expenditures? For example, materials and supplies, maintenance and repairs, et cetera, that are historically, it looks like last year and this year, those costs are not seemingly budgeted here, so you're paying for that with the excess from your revenues. So would that budget likely change in the future or no?
The simple answer again is yes, but it starts here. The
Okay.
Historic Sites Board, you'll see in the list of meetings when we will look at budget.
And we make the recommendation.
And you make recommendations to alter line items, and then we have to put in justifications.
Right,
But yeah,
okay,
this board helps in making recommendations to council and the finance department for the operations. So it'll come here first.
okay, great. I would have a lot of comments on that then. I mean, when you apply for grants, it looks good to have an excess of funds coming your way rather than just clearing. Based on what I can see for the last 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. You can do matching funds, it often helps, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Oh, wow. My next question then is that the salary expenditure is higher in SB. Is that because of grants or?
Yes,
Okay, that's what I expect. It's a good answer. I just.
so
remember-
revenue, the bottom line of wages and salaries are to remain the same over the last couple of years.
Right.
So in order to have the staff we have, some of them are here on funding. So right now we have a FedNor intern. So, money's coming in, but money's also going out. So the expenditures on the wage and salary line will be higher. And same with, we're only funded for one summer student. We use that funding to leverage 2 to 3 grants. So we can have more students.
Oh, okay.
So, because some are 75% funded, some are, 50% funded. So the one line item of one summer student goes to help offset those other grants. But then we have 3 wages. So,
Okay.
There any, Madam Chair, is there any other questions?
So the members have to approve the expenditures up to date, right, Kathy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need someone to motion, Carol? And someone to second,
Heather,
Heather? Members of Historic Site Board approve the expenditure date, okay, so is everyone approving that? All in favor? Carried. Next is the curator's report, and you have information on the events of 2025.
I did, put in the binders and on the table. This is, we do a number of events here. And currently we're in the midst of Fridays by the Fire, which so far have been sold out. It's kind of like a day like today where the fire's on, lunch is served. We plate it and serve it though. And it's soup and biscuit kind of thing, but every week is a different guest speaker. And so the soup is themed for whatever they're talking on. For instance, we have March 7th. Sylvana is bringing in for us Frank Sarlo. So, and it's all on how Sault Ste. Marie has the Italian population, so we're gonna decorate it all up and we're serving Thai plates and
Oh, yeah.
I think Italian wedding suit. And he's going to speak to everybody. So that's how that series works. Tomorrow and Saturday is our Valentine's high tea. All of these right now are pretty much sold out. There are some Fridays by the Fire still available. And then you can see as we go down the list, these are all sort of ticketed events that bring in revenue to the site. And at the end of each year, I forgot to mention on our accounts, there is sort of the net from programming and the net from the gift shop go into a historic trust fund. And that allows you then to utilize that for maintenance, restoration, or matching grants for those kinds of things. So these events, first of all, keep us thriving during all seasons and bring in people and bring in also the revenue for the projects we have to do. Yes, then.
I might be jumping ahead. Any weddings on the calendar?
3, I think. It's just ceremony.
Okay, very
So
nice.
we
Okay.
do venue rentals, and so they get plugged in around other bookings or other events. We also have we have a couple groups booked in just even for private baby showers, bridal showers, significant birthday parties.
Corporate events sometimes.
We have a arts and culture forum here at the end of February. And we just were the hosts for the mayor in Garden River. So the city of Sault Ste. Marie and Garden River had their meeting here to sign their friendship accord. So that event was here. So the Heritage Discovery Center Theater and foyer, the grounds outside in here in this room are all venue rental possibilities, and we're licensed rail to rail, so we can have a cash bar or if the organizers want to pay for bars, so those kinds of things can all happen.
Thank you.
Back to your Toronto gift show.
Yeah, sorry, Madam Chair, I just want to let everyone know, Fall Rendezvous is our biggest event. So, if you haven't been here for Fall Rendezvous, you have to come. It's lots of fun. We'll probably corral some of you anyways to come and help us, because we bring in busloads of grade 7 students. And on the school days. And then the Friday, Saturday are always part of culture days. And this year we're trying, first of all, it's sponsored by the Friends of, which is a nonprofit charitable group of volunteers that are another group affiliated with the site. And they apply for the funding from all levels of government to put on Fall Rendezvous. And this year, we're looking at adding a Highland Fest, because the linkage is that a McTavish worked here with Charles Ermity. So, bagpipes, dancers, and whiskey might be.
With who? I just did Bishop, I didn't drink whiskey.
So that they're working on the plans, but it is a 4-day, and it's the biggest festival we do on site. And who knows how big it may get this year. So I just wanted to add that for you on events overview. Thanks, Madam Chair.
Thank you. And they're all very excellent, well attended, sold out. and a lot of fun. I mean, Kathy and her staff, I have to praise them. They are wonderful. They're great workers and they just know how to prepare these events and get the most of, I mean, they're well attended now. Before, I don't think the community really was involved as they are now. So
Yeah, it has
it's
developed
grown,
over the
developed,
years,
yes, yeah. Toronto Gift Show, what did you buy?
So, I attended first time in probably, well, when we opened the Heritage Discovery Center, the gift shop was being operated by the Voyageur from Botswana. And they ran it for 2 years and then, they left and so we've taken it over and that next year, I went to the gift show. And didn't realize how huge it is and how many days you have to dedicate to meet these wholesalers. And so anyways, I went in January and 3 days and I didn't even put a dent in the Toronto Gift Show. But new merchandise is on its way and we do have catalogs that we didn't order from yet, but I met the wholesalers and saw the product they set up their stores. I mean, where's like, so, because they're operating from warehouses normally. So you walk around with a salesperson and they show you everything and if you want to order, they're equipped with these little barcode scanners and, in an hour you spend a lot of money. But I did meet some others from Sault Ste. Marie, Homespun Treasures were there and, I think it might have been from the IDA, Sweet Greetings. And because several times I'd go to a wholesaler and they'd say, oh, someone else was just here from Sault Ste. Marie. And so I'd say, oh, Homespun Treasures. No, I don't think that was, so I think it was them. Anyways, we did a couple times negotiate with Homespun Treasures to see who was bringing in the product.
Agga was it? Batchmore, that, group up there, they were there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Maybe it was
the
them.
manager,
Yeah.
she was there.
Well, it's
want
the
to say
Toronto
Agawam.
Congress Center and the Toronto International Center.
Oh, okay. Wow.
There were probably 1,200 wholesalers.
Oh,
Yeah. But anyway. So it's nice to even put a face to some of the people that have been contacting us and to see the product instead of in a catalog. So, yeah. That was the Toronto Gift Show. See how we do.
Merchandise can be cut.
Some of it's arriving now,
Oh, good.
some of it's staged throughout the year. Cause they had everything right till Christmas on their displays.
Heritage Week,
I'm just briefly bringing that up because, we are a heritage site, we are a designated National Historic Site. And that means the Ermitinger Old Stone House and Mr. Clerg, the man, not his house yet. Jamie's working on that.
Yeah, you and I need to talk about that.
But,
That's actually why I'm here.
yeah, we're a between those two, we are a National Historic Site. But we also partner with Municipal Heritage Committee and on your tables, and I have more of these. This is the start of the social media campaign and, you'll see them come up on our Facebook, our Instagram. And also the cities, the arts and culture, everyone's gonna be putting out the series of the designated properties and promoting National Heritage Week, which is actually part of Ontario Heritage Trust that we work in partnership with and register Sault Ste. Marie with the trust, National Trust. Jamie would know probably, do we have more than 30 designated properties now?
Oh, easily, yeah.
Is Virginia still
I don't
on?
know that, I want to say 68, but
How many?
Yeah.
68?
68. Is that including plaques and monuments?
No.
Or
I'm not sure. Virginia would know better.
Jamie, is that the project we worked on with the binder?
We're at
Well,
We're
that's-
at 1 designated properties.
Designated site.
Virginia's answering, sorry. What was that?
There's 41 designated under the Ontario Heritage Act.
Okay, so we designated those and Sandra and I worked on a project for registered sites. And there's about another 27 registered sites. This is
Yeah,
a-
those are the listed properties, so they have a different protection than the designated properties.
So I would like to bring up this topic. I got reelected the chair of the Municipal Heritage Committee last week. And we are working on a new edition of this booklet.
It's a great book.
And you will all be involved in that because you will all become our proofreaders when the draft version comes out. So this will have the plaques, the designated properties, provincial designated plaques, federal buildings and plaques, some of which have been rewritten. So, and this was published this was the Millennium Project in 2000. So you can imagine over the past 25 years, how many more sites have been added. And plaques the wording might have changed and whatnot. So that's a work in progress. There's also a walking tour that starts during Heritage Week. It starts here, right?
Yeah,
And it'll go
I
from
think
here
on,
to
is
the
it the
plaza.
Saturday, I think,
Yeah,
that we're looking at doing a heritage walking tour for Heritage Week.
yeah. So Alex White is doing that and Sonny Spina volunteered. So we have 2 people leading the walking tour. And I think it goes from here to the Bridge Plaza.
Canal
Is
District
that,
area.
is that the right word, the plaza? We also, Sarah and I are both on Municipal Heritage as is called, and so you've got 3 people who can talk on this topic now. We were also looking at doing another Doors Open event this coming year, which Virginia registered us for that, so that will be another opportunity to volunteer and get involved in tours and sites and planning and yeah, lots going on. Plus the topic that Kathy brought up that we might want to leave for another meeting about national people and buildings.
So, Heritage Week, begins on Family Day. And so we will, be launching this social media series and you'll be able to see it on ours, the cities and arts and culture, social media, so, yeah, hopefully 40 properties will, this was the start of some of them. It's a before, like a historic photo and a now photo. And all, looking at all the ones that are designated.
Right. So Kathy has also invited me to speak at the Friday by the Fire that week.
Oh,
so
yes,
I'll be
that
talking
Friday.
about heritage buildings.
If you want to come and have soup and a biscuit and hear Jamie promote Heritage Week, sign up fast on your way out.
Question, kind of off topic, for the chats by the fire, has all the topics been selected?
Yes,
Okay,
so there's a listing at the front desk.
okay. Out of curiosity, sorry to do this, I always do this. Did you ever have a chat about famous people that lived here?
Have we had that topic?
Yes.
No.
Like, for instance, like Margaret Atwood was here for a short period of time.
Oh, yeah.
And help me out, Jamie, who is that, the doctor, is it Dr. Bethune?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, things like that.
Mhm.
Blah, blah, blah.
Well, I'm discovering there's also really interesting people that are, I've been doing some work at the cemeteries, which is another topic, and I've discovered like Penn Horwood and William
Yeah.
Merrifield and,
Yeah,
had huge roles during World War One.
because when we did that project together, we went to all those buildings.
Yeah.
And that's where all those names started to come out. That's where I learned a lot, so,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Hypothetically, could we get Margaret Atwood to come as a
Well,
fundraiser? As a fundraiser?
Oh, Another theme would be famous people who stayed at the old stone house,
Mhm.
like, you know, Jameson and
Yeah.
Wolseley and,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that'd be kind of fun.
I'm writing it all down.
And Ernest, did you say Ernest Hemingway, who used to fish in the rapids?
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Yes.
Did
Yeah,
he stay here?
No, but he was in Sault Ste. Marie.
Oh,
He
okay.
used to come up and fish a lot, cause he would
Yeah.
hang around in Petoskey, and then he would come up here.
There was I just saw it at the library this morning, there was an architect named Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
had a camp at Deborah.
Yeah, he built a cottage at Deborah, it's still there.
Yeah,
And so he would visit his friends up there. Yeah,
wow.
it's in the book, the Frank Lloyd Wright famous.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
have that book.
you're giving me goosebumps.
I have that book.
Excellent.
Remind me of.
Okay, well,
Sorry, Kathy.
That's okay. I wrote it all down. Famous
Mm,
people. Do you want me to continue, Madam
Are we
Chair?
going to March break
March
cultural
break?
class?
We are partnering with the four attractions, plus Atomica inside the Bush Plane. And, there will be soon a cultural pass available for families to purchase for $45. That includes the HST. And it is an all access, all week long, go to all of us as many times as you like. And all of us are doing special programming. And this will be our third year trying it, and it's been a success in the past years, so. There will be a poster, you'll see it coming your way, if you want to share it, there's a QR code for people. But the online ticketing or pass purchase will be on the Bush Plains website, and that's where the QR code will take you. But passes can be purchased in person as well at any of our sites, so we're just pulling that all together, who's doing what on what days, but we're all gonna be open March break and offering different programs.
Any questions or comments? Okay, so there's three members that are on the Heritage Committee. Do you have anything to add?
oh, sorry, I talked out of turn. I thought we had moved on to the Heritage Committee.
That's
I
okay.
apologize, Madam Chair.
No, that's not needed.
No, I don't have.
There's a lot of info.
Jim, anything done? We've already done it.
Colin?
Colin has volunteered for, what did Colin volunteer for?
Heritage trees and something else.
Oh, Heritage Trees, yes. Oh, did he volunteer for Doris Open? I can't remember.
Colin's on line, no, he's shaking his head.
You know, I guess that's
Oh,
a
okay.
no right now. Right now. So number 11 is new business. Are we looking at meeting dates?
I just wanted you to, I put this on the agenda for you to know in your binders. And I think I sent it by email, the meeting dates. We don't meet every month. So as you can see, we're not meeting in March, mainly because of March break. And then, but there are tasks also associated, so the dates have been scheduled because of your governing and overview of the operations here. So there will be dates specific for budget, dates specific for looking at policy. Because for those of you that don't know, that we are a museum that meets the provincial museum standards. And in order to continue to meet those standards and receive some provincial operating funds, we have to, of course, fall in line with what the province is looking for in museums. And this year, we will be looking at a digital plan, which affects some of the policies. We have completed in the last 2 years a digital strategy, and with that, it affects our collections. So digitizing the collection. It also, the digital strategy is how we promote and market, and also how we do pretty well anything. And so from that, anything digital really is what I was trying to say, sorry, didn't finish the sentence. And so from that, we were able to leverage funding from the federal government, from the Tourism Growth Fund with FedNor, and we are now working on a standalone website and other further digital components. And that's why we also have FedNor intern who's been doing all these lovely things, you know, like I can't produce all this. Tech savvy, I'm not, I'll go, how'd you do that? Well, I did this, this, and this, oh yeah, okay. And I roll my eyes and leave. But those are the kinds of things, including coming up for us to look at. And on certain meeting dates, is we are looking at a logo change. And so in your binders, please peruse that, I think that's April's meeting. So I will be sending more information out to you. The Old Stone House logo, and if you look at the front cover of the binders, it's always been the hand-drawn design that we got given to us in 1965 when the city purchased the Old Stone House. And that's been the logo, and it is still the logo also for municipal heritage. But we are now a site that has more than the Ermitinger Old Stone House. We have the Clerk Block House, we have the Heritage Discovery Center. And Mr. Clerk is another reason we're a National Historic Site. So we have more, what we call our tagline, story steeped in stone. And on top of that, another layer is we are owned and operated by the municipality. So John, our intern, has put together some new logo options. Last year, the Historic Sites Board did see his presentation. We can have him come to April's meeting again because he's pulled together the themes and the colors, and our theme is story steeped in stone, but the city's branding is and I think you can sort of see some of it here. The city has some of these lines down here. We have stone. And he's trying to pull together the two buildings, and in your binders, take a look. And I'll send it out again. So there are different things at different times of the year that we will focus on and talk about at the meetings. So each meeting has a purpose. The short version of what I'm trying to say. And there will be different projects in between those meetings, a task force with staff and a few board members, especially if it's policy or plans or starting to look at user fees ahead of time and those kinds of things. So I just wanted to put it on the agenda to take a look at those meeting dates and sort of what I have set for you as things we have to do at certain times of the year.
Heather?
I was just gonna comment, I think you should bring John to the April meeting to the presentation. His presentation was awesome.
Yeah, he was able to tell us why he
Yes.
sort of pulled things together and the theming, the colors. Yeah. Okay.
Happy to.
Got another off agenda question? Could you give us a thumbnail sketch about what asset renovations we're planning for this year?
That's a really good question,
I-
David.
Just want to know what's coming.
We haven't been approved for any capital assets this year and asset management. So there won't be any huge project. We did go with our list, of course, and our priorities, next priority is the blockhouse roof, blockhouse windows, that sort of stuff. But what is coming is the projects on our tourism growth with FedNor. So we are going to be working on heating and air for the blockhouse. So it'll take us to opening that building past, this 4 months of the summer. So that we're able to have it open as well in the shoulder seasons. The goal for, that tourism growth and Ontario and Destination Canada is to be able to entice people in all seasons, 365 days. So we're looking at doing some sort of, it's not big capital projects, it's more small maintenance, upgrading. So heat and air, we're looking at, we hope with that project, some large touch screens, because accessibility wise, both buildings are inaccessible. So we're looking at some challenges for visitors and how to, right now we have an old, like if you looked at the computer in the blockhouse, it's on the main floor, it's a touch screen. It's the old one with the big back end, And every year I think, oh, that's gonna die soon. So we wanna have something bigger and newer and have more information available for accessibility, and then also for tourism in the Heritage Discovery Center. There will be maintenance, still ongoing maintenance. We built a shed behind the blockhouse because as you walk out, the wood shed right here is about to fall down, don't touch it. And so we have a new one built and we'll be demolishing this one. And we were quite lucky to receive sponsorship from our lawyers next door to help with that project. But we just finished, for anyone that knows, the roof on the old stone house this year, the split rail fencing, the palisade fencing, the shed. And prior to that, the year before, we had huge asset management projects, and they were the stone basement of the house, the stone masonry of the front stairs, the chimneys, all the windows, not in the summer kitchen here though, not in this building, which is on the future list. But that old stone house, so if you can see all those windows, every little pane of glass has been, there's mutton bars around each pane of glass, and those all have to be puttied by hand, so those have all been done, reinstalled, and then all the framing around the windows and the shutters and all of that. So we, for the last since COVID, because it was on hold during COVID, but as soon as we could, we started those massive projects. So this coming year, we're on hold a little bit. We're gonna do these other kinds of projects, but hopefully the following year we'll start again on big restoration. That was a long answer to your question. No, not this year. Yes, next year.
Usually when somebody asks me a question in a meeting and I say, that's a very good question, I'm really thinking something.
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Kathy, can I-
Amy, go ahead.
If
Question.
I was here earlier at the meeting in the other building where it was cold and you were mentioning that the furnace.
Blockhouse?
Yes, no, in the theater, and I'm just wondering if the furnace in that, in general. Malfunctions, is that covered by regular maintenance or is
It
there,
goes in on the maintenance line.
like, is there a contract or? does the
We
state
do have a
own it?
contract with someone a company that comes in,
Okay,
and actually, I think they have all the community centers
oh, okay,
with the city, and they come in and they do filter changes and maintenance, and then they also like on all the HVAC units with the city. And then, if something goes wrong, of course, we call them and they come and order parts. So,
Oh, so it's all, it's not something you have to, it's not a capital project to replace.
hopefully not for a while, although that building is 10 years old and
It's not that old. I
really
know.
expensive. 10 years
I mean,
is
my
all
furnace is
anything
older
lasts.
than that.
So as we're noticing, the, oh, what I meant to tell you, I'm going to backtrack on. So as we're noticing, things only last about 10 years. So Mr. Clerk, about 8 years ago, or 10 years ago, decided to stop working. So if you were here way back when, there used to be a hologram face on his mannequin in the blockhouse. And then a whole bunch of electronics. And so we temporarily fixed, and he's got just a mannequin face and he's kind of boring now, but nothing's working. So also part of our tourism growth strategy and our next project with the FedNor is to work on. Okay, now this is where I get myself in trouble.
AI?
AI,
Or augmented reality.
AR. It's
AR.
It's the R.
AR, yeah.
So that when you come in with an iPad or a phone or other things, Mr. Clerk or Mr. Ermitinger is going to come to life.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That'd be crude.
You know, eh?
Yeah, I got
But
goosebumps.
yeah, they'll walk you through.
Oh, yeah, that
and
mannequin head.
We're
was big and
hoping-
It was awful. It was
We're getting
creepy.
3, like the budget, I'm hoping we can still get the 3, is that it's Clerk, Ermitinger, and somebody else that might take us through the Heritage Discovery Center and the yard. So we have to decide on that third, interesting, see how the budget goes on this project, but yes, so all those kinds of things too. But that was an offshoot to your heating
Yeah,
question.
no, I was just wondering about the furnace, yeah,
It's gonna be like
okay.
an animatronic.
Pardon?
It's just gonna be like an animatronic, or there's like a.
It's a digital thing on app and yeah. We do have some stories on the app already, but then this next level will be a 3D virtual person. Take us on a tour. So like a virtual reality thing, but you don't need the volumes.
Hopefully there's First Nations. When is that?
Hmm?
What about First Nations for that third?
I know, yeah, and
So, I mean,
the question was, we should have a
Yeah,
First
yeah.
Nation person,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
so
What is the R stand
actually
for?
during the Accord
Oh,
meeting
okay.
last week, I did speak to the
Okay.
chief on working on some of these things together, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Talk to ITO too.
Yeah.
Indigenous Tourism Ontario. Kevin Ishbal, yeah.
So Madam Chair, I don't know, Jamie, did I answer the question?
You're good.
Did you get an answer?
It's kind of statutory in like the meter things. There's gonna be like certain sections that probably has like. Say a casing that has like. Not exactly a hologram, but you know.
Yeah. Kingston has it, Hamilton has it, so it'll be similar.
That mean you're gonna have to kind of fill with a little bit of fog.
I can't hear.
Like-
sir.
What does that mean? You have to kind of like fill with a little bit of a fog in there?
I don't think we're looking more at the technology and just, yeah, not, we do have a fog machine in the theater. You'll have to watch the movie. Anyone new is more than welcome to stay and watch our movie. The fog
Awesome.
machine's not working today.
So everyone's invited for a tour as well, right?
If
Like
you wanna
after the
stay
meeting?
afterwards, we can give you a tour, or you can look around on your own. And you, by all means, watch our orientation movie in the theater. There's lots to see and do at the site. So, yeah,
So.
you'll have to come over, Colin, at some spare time.
Yeah, certainly. It was my intention to make it there today, but I had a meeting run long, so I certainly
That's okay.
send my regrets.
So we'll see everyone, the next meeting is April 9th, 12 noon, summer kitchen. So we just need a motion to adjourn. Sarah,
And
and a
Brittany,
second,
Brittany's got her hand up.
Brittany. All in favor? Or do we do that? Carry. We
You
won't
have
keep,
already voted on your thing.
we won't keep you here.
And please, there's still food, there's, what's it called? I've lost the information on what that cake is.
I don't know, whatever it is, it's delicious. Just say it's
It's
delicious.
covered in
cake.
maple syrup.
It's so good.
Cornbread.
Oh,
There,
fine, right.
I couldn't spit it out.
I'm so hungry.
You won't always get quiche and salad. Alma sometimes pulls out
Nothing
whatever
exciting,
sticks are
okay.
left from Friday by the fire.
I golfed all summer, I didn't have a problem. I
Oh.
fell asleep.
I'm going
Sofa
to
chair.
adjourn the
So my husband said,
online
"You gotta
YouTube
go to bed
and
like
our
it's
Zoom
midnight."
calls, so call in
Real
anytime.
late, eh?
You can stop by. If you want to talk to me, just check in with me by email. But otherwise, just come visit and I'll put your binder at the front counter. of the
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Kathy. I'll be in touch shortly.
Welcome aboard.
Glad to be here.
I like to have to let Bruce about it, it was high.
Bye. Have a nice day, everybody.
Thank you, Virginia.
Anyway.